I saw this last night. This comic BB Free, and I started to write this thing last night and just passed out. And then I thought, whenever I see something like this, I thought, oh, I know Zach's going to cover this because it's who wrote it. So I should have released it last night, but I didn't. And I saw that he just released his version of it, but that's okay. This KSSO. This is cancer. This is Gabby Rivera's triumphant return. Actually, I have no idea if she ever went away. Maybe she was busy working on projects this whole time. She is best known for working on the Mexican lesbian comic where everyone goes to Tommy Sotomayor Universidad to learn how to do battle with the T-800 in their ever-raging war against the patriarchy and vegetables. Somehow they make a connection with obesity and fighting off the male gaze. But she's gay, so I don't think she has to worry about the male gaze. Listen, being 200 pounds isn't owning drumpf. It's just owning a heart attack. I always knew that she hated white people, even though she just looks like a Spanish European woman to me. I'm not sure why she calls herself brown. It seems kind of weird. I guess she wants some of those diversity points. Brown privilege strikes again. I assumed she was just a garden variety racist. It turns out that she's also sexist. She really, really has a hard-on for men. Sorry for that visual. I didn't watch Zach's review. I was too busy arguing with Mike Miller online. That guy should have been an attorney because he just loves to argue about the littlest things just to argue. Strange. He's a strange character, but I still like him. When people talk about daddy issues, they're talking about her. She is really, really mad at the father she probably never had. In one of her comics, she had two lesbians 69 each other and give birth to their lesbian daughter. How badly do you have to hate men to genocide them from existence? I respect those levels of hate. I can only aspire to loathing that deep. It's like the comic book hate levels. But it's good to see Gabby channel that hatred into a healthy, creative outlet like writing and be able to create something fresh and compelling. Of course, I'm just kidding. It's pure identity racist politics. Every bad character is European. The good characters are Latino or African, which is weird because Gabby Rivera is very light-skinned. And all the characters in the book are darker than she is in the real world. So I'm assuming she has issues with being so blanco or blank X. If you're not looking at the screen, please look at the screen. Buttercup, the best gator, Amigix, Latinx. Stop. Latin languages are gendered languages. You're I don't know what you're doing. You're just being retarded. Her parents are also light-skinned, so I guess she has issues with them, maybe? I come from a mixed-race family and have never thought about who is darker than whom. It blows my mind that people like Gabby Rivera exist. They're the most racist people on earth, but they can't admit it, so they project it outwards. Be better, Gabby. Yikes. Be better than a hater. I have mentioned how what you look like changes your outlook on the world. Why do you think Mark Waid, Dan Slott, Gail Simone, Tim Doyle are such miserable people? A lot of it has to do with the way they look. Gabby Rivera is morbidly obese. Obese to the level where she cannot enjoy normal physical activities. She isn't going to go run up a hill on a warm spring day because she can't. So she sits on her cell phone eating Twinkies and raging against people with penises. Puerto Rico must be a matriarchal paradise with no crime, sexism, or racism. I wonder why she doesn't just go back to her socialist utopia. I just can't quite figure it out. These racist, sexist idiots like Gabby always seem to hate America, but then you find out that they came from a third world hellhole, and I wonder, why don't you go back there and turn it into a great place? Surely Gabby, with all her skills as an obese lesbian, can make Puerto Rico great again. Puerto Rico isn't a third world hellhole. Lots of great people come from there, but she isn't one of them, and you get my point. And to be fair, the Democrats are turning parts of California into a third world hellhole. Don't believe me? Believe me, go to any major city in California and smell the cities. What do they smell like? This story is set in a post-apocalyptic future, yet everything is clean and nice. It's a utopia of brown people. I guess it is what Central America is like, just a paradise on Earth. I wonder why these Central Americans drive up to America and leave their paradise. It really seems odd. Oh, by the way, guess who pays for the trucks that drive them? The Soros Foundation for the Open Borders groups. Wow, thanks guys. Gabby seems to say that these Latinos are able to build their Afro-Latino paradise. No, Gabby, half my family left their Latino country for a better opportunity with the whites. Hashtag, I love the people of the light. And it's post-apocalypse. They are probably back to farming and hunting. Why on earth is everyone so fat? Children wouldn't be fat. They're too busy taking care of the animals, cooking and cleaning, repairing the animals' tack or fishing nets. Everyone is working. Nobody was obese 1,000 years ago. They were active, and the food was much lower calorie. In fact, the comic shows what they are eating, mostly vegetables. So how did she get so fat? Little gordita, or gorditex? That is so lame. Gabby is trying to do too much. She wants to push propaganda and write a fun story, but she can't because she is talentless. It's actually pretty hard to write a story that people will pay for. A lot of the people I roast actually do have some talent, but it's hard to write when you have an agenda. People aren't that dumb. After a few pages, the agenda is clear, and even for fellow followers of Mordecai Levy, i.e. Marxist, it gets boring. You're preaching to the choir, but they have heard it before. They aren't going to waste $4 to hear it again. And the normies don't want to read it because it's clear that you hate men and the beautiful people of the light. That's 90% of the people who buy comics. Soon as we see the Amigex instead of Amigo or Amiga, we know the book is going to go cringe farming, which Gabby can't do because she's too fat. So she has to hire a Mexican man to do the work for her. You can't write fun, escapist fiction and propaganda. You have to pick a battle. Gabby has chosen to write propaganda, but she is so steeped in identity politics that she can't help herself. Oh, that's her father in the comic. Why is her father a shade lighter than she is? This is just, these bizarre SJWs. Who's that gay dude, the skinny gay Twinkie looking dude is balding. Cena Grace. He and Gabby and a lot of these other freaking childish weirdos, they project themselves into their stories, and it's so painfully obvious to everyone but them. Gabby hates men so much. She hates white people so much. So she has her white-skinned father with more European features than the little gordito here. Gabby is literally as white, if not whiter, than this guy. Gabby is not this guy, this chick. She is more obese than this chick. Every bad character in her books is this guy. And, I mean, the only reason she didn't have him blonde-haired is because, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for the story, but you know she was thinking about it. If you read her old tweets from a few years ago, it's like Louis Farrakhan and Dr. Duke had a anal sex butt baby together to create a super racist. The only male characters are light-skinned, and they are evil. Gabby is literally a Spanish European. She is lighter than anyone in her books. Is this just self-hate? I would love to know how many issues this sold, or how long it's going to go before it's canceled. It probably won't even get to Mags Massaggio level of, I don't know, 4 or 5. I don't know if there's anything. Oh, okay, so it's a post-apocalypse. See, you read these things, and they're hard to read, but every time I look through them again, I notice just little bits of stupid. Okay, she's got some super advanced wheelchair that's running on a portable energy source, probably a lithium battery, maybe a old lead acid battery, something. So it's post-apocalypse, but you've got motorized wheelchairs. Okay, and you've got, oh god, there's something in here where there's the radio stations are broadcasting through radio waves, but they have wires hooked up to the stations. So I don't know if she's just showing the electromagnetic frequency, Kirchhoff's rules, the right-hand rule. But she shows these radio waves, radiation, broadcasting away from these towers, but they're also hooked up to wires. Usually towers out in the middle of nowhere, if they're radio towers out in the middle of nowhere, well, they don't have power hooked up to them. So you're saying that these are power towers or radio towers? They're radio towers, but they either have power lines or communication lines hooked up to them. And so it's kind of weird because this is, even in the post-apocalypse, you can have a radio tower, but it would have to be powered by a small generator, a booster to have an amplifier and a radio station, something like that. I'm just saying there's some weird little inconsistencies. But of course, the guy is greedily hoarding food or something. Overall, the story has so many of these bizarre inconsistencies. It's post-apocalypse, but they have tech and they have money and they have a high civilization. But it's all run by Afro and Latino people with the talking crocodile or something. And instead of a quinceañero, they have a Freedom 15. I guess because they don't want to say that girls become women when they're 15 in Latinx countries. Latino in Mexico, Central America. Latino countries, you dummy. I'm sure Zach's review is going to be much, much better, but he's very, very nice. He's much nicer than me. There's literally nothing good about this book. The art seems derivative, a rip-off of everyone else's style, and it doesn't suit. This whole, this reminds me of, who's that guy, Aubrey Sitterson's latest book, Nowhere Left to Run, or Nowhere Left to Fight, or No One Left to Fight, something like that. I review it every time it comes out, and it's just stupid. This kind of color scheme, it's just so bad. There's just man bad. She can't put a white man in here, but she would if she could, and white men are the worst. Anyway, okay. You're a hunter-gatherer, you're farming, and you got a 200-pound teenager with headphones, a Walkman, and a motorized wheelchair, but you live in the swamp. You're just a fucking idiot. None of this makes sense. Sorry for swearing. Anyway, I'll try not to go back to arguing with Mike Miller. Check out Lone Star and the Meg. He's got he is an argumentative little troll, but he is a phenomenal artist, and so far he seems like a pretty nice guy, though. Anytime I compliment someone, people get triggered. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe, enter the art contest, links in the description, send me your art, yada yada. I will see y'all next issue.